Hey guys, welcome back. This is ChosenArchitect, and today we're going to be setting up a self-sufficient auto magic bean farm. So I hope you guys are ready. So as always, we have lots to do today. I think I really want to get myself some power backup started. So with Ender.io, it's probably best that we go ahead and start to use some power backups. Now there are quite a few available. Then we look at batteries. We will see that we have tons of options. Now, one that I know stores a lot of power but is kind of finicky is this random battery from Cyclic. It doesn't really require too many resources to store 1,000,000 RF. Very simple, but it is a little finicky on the way it kind of works. And I think it can only export, I think, 1,000 RF a tick per side. So it can be kind of finicky. Now, Ender.io has batteries. I believe they're called the capacitor banks. So here's the banks. So these guys, they store 1,000,000 RF as well. These require a little bit more resources and a little bit more to craft, but I think these are going to be much better in the long run, as the more you combine of these in a single block space, they'll actually become a multi-block. And these are actually very useful and very configurable. So we need to make just some regular basic capacitors. In order to do that, we need some grains of infinity. I think we should eventually set up automation for this. We do have access to some hoppers and stuff. I think in the next couple episodes we might make automation for it, but right now we just have our base amount of grains of infinity. So let's see how many of these we can make. I only want one, so it should be enough. We should have enough resources, right? Now, there's a problem with this crafting right here. We are going to need to make sure that this is accepting iron for this. And we should be able to craft one as soon as we have a redstone block. So there we go. So that is complete. Like I said, the iron, I don't know if it, yeah, it definitely, this is the problem with this particular storage system, is that sometimes you're going to have to manually put in some of the recipe items. But like I said, that's not going to be that big of a deal. All right, so now that we have this, I kind of want to place it in the background, or what I might do is actually remove the way that this chest system is currently set up. But our current power generation is coming from our Stirling generator. So we definitely want to do better with our power. So I think I might just take this, put the battery back up here. There's a little dial on the front that tells you how much power is in here and how much power we're producing. We're producing about 160 RF a tick. Over here we have some conductive iron. I'm going to use this. So we're going to make some energy conduit. And this is going to be the power transfer that I'm going to use for right now. And this is going to allow me to pull power from this machine and supply other machines with the same power. But to do that, we kind of have to break through our blocks here, and we're going to have to make room for things. I think this is unnecessary. I don't think we need that big of a chest. Same on this side, we don't need that big of a chest. Technically, we don't even need that big of a chest up there, but it is kind of a buffer. So what we can do is say right here, we can go ahead and put ourselves that wireless charger, and we place that right there, right? And then we'll leave this corner blank, and we can go ahead and actually place, I don't know, our wood back here. Because these cables can actually be facaded if you do feel like you really want them to be facaded, which is pretty easy to do. But what we're going to do is actually drop the cable down from here and then run it up into this spot. So let's go ahead and get our cable hooked up. And you can see right here it automatically connected. If we make a Yeta wrench, we can go ahead and remove this, because this doesn't technically need to be connected here. This is coming from the generator, as you can see. So with that being done, this guy is now hooked up. It's getting power from this side. We can make sure by configuring this and set that to output and make sure this is set to input. Even though I don't think it really matters, it's automatically going to be pulling power anyways. We'll set this to pull, so that way it pulls. But I think that's, oh wait, the pull is actually talking about the inventory slot. You can see it's not the power that this is talking about. And I think it's the same for this. This one is related to the power itself. So we have what? A little bit of RF being stored up in here. This is of course going to drain out, and this will become our battery. Now I do want to configure this a little bit different. I think our Stirling generator should probably be separated from this. Now picking up these machines, they do retain their power. So I think what we might want to do is sort of change how we have this whole thing situated. That'd be the best thing to do. So this is how I used to set these machines up back in the day. And it's going to be kind of nostalgic for me because this is how I literally used to do it. So we would input things into the sag mill, and we would do that through the top. In the middle would be our buffer chest, and then right here would be where our items would be exported. And this saves us a lot of space, right? And it doesn't look so bad. So we just need to make sure that we configure all of our sides to correspond. So we're going to have this pull, this push, right? And then since on the other side, we can just have this pull and this push, and this will disable. And there we go. And all we got to do now is run some power cable underneath here. And this is a very simplistic way to automate this system. Now I'm going to re-break this because this is now going to need to connect. But it should automatically connect and we shouldn't run into any problems. I can also move this now. That'll give us a bit more space. And we can connect our charger there. Over here is where we can connect our battery and our other systems. And this will allow us to have coal placed in here. This is not where I want this machine to be, as we do have this massive thing in the way. But this is just going to work for now. So we can place our basic capacitor here, right? And then we can go ahead and place this connected directly to it. We'll run our conduit connected to our battery, not connected to our generator. And we'll make sure to feed our generator. And we'll disable all the stuff that's connected to it. We'll make sure over here that this is disconnected as well. And we'll make sure this is going to be our export. And make sure this is disabled as well. There you go. So there's nothing connected. Now, up underneath here, there is a few things that we can configure, but I think by default, this is automatically going to extract, and it should say always active right now. So it's working automatically and going in and out. So that's exactly what we want. And that is some pretty decent settings here. So this is going to work. Now, we do need to get some other things powered, and that's where we're going to start jumping into Actually Additions, because today I really want to set up a farm. So let's take a look at Actually Additions. And Actually Additions is going to provide us with an atomic reconstructor. I'm going to go ahead and explain why I'm going to make the atomic reconstructor. Let's look at the farm that I want to make. So we need a few crops, right? But I want magic crops. This is, so I think it's called, it's from Cyclic. Magical beans right here. This magical bean is very special. Okay, it produces by default, unless it's been changed, it normally produces like all of the vanilla base items when harvested. It has a chance of being any of the vanilla items. It can include anything from purple carpet to clay. It can produce anything. It can produce diamonds. It can produce all kinds of stuff. Chorus fruit. It's kind of crazy. So what we want to do is automate a crop full of these things. It'll actually even produce all of the seeds that you see here. But we need netherwort. And netherwort, we can go to the nether. I did find a fortress. I haven't shown you guys yet, but I did find one. We could probably get it from there. Or we can use an atomic reconstructor with a little bit of power in it and just use a mushroom to get one. And so that's kind of what I want to do. So let's get an atomic reconstructor. Or it's from Actually Additions. And an atomic reconstructor is pretty easy to make. We already have iron casings, I do believe. So it's as simple for us as just making it and placing it down. Now we are also going to need a redstone torch. So I think I have some sticks laying around here somewhere. Let's go ahead and throw all these random items in here. I think I have a redstone torch laying around anyways. There's a stick. Awesome. So this is going to make a redstone torch. This is how we actually control the atomic reconstructor. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to drop this down one. because the way I like to set up the atomic reconstructor kind of works this way. I'm actually going to remove this, and actually it can probably just connect directly to it. I think that'll work. So, with that in mind, let's go ahead and get this bad boy set up. Atomic reconstructor is actually going to be facing up, like this. And it's going to fill with power, and it's going to automatically start firing once it hits its time limit. We need to stop that. That's wasting power, so we're going to set this to pulse with our redstone torch. That's how you control a lot of the machines from Actually Additions. So now the thing requires a redstone pulse. We're going to need to make that. I'm just going to use a pressure plate. Pressure plate's going to be simple. It's going to go right on top. And so now we can put items on the pressure plate, and it's going to convert the ones that land on the pressure plate. And that keeps everything nice and simple and compact, and all is well, right? So let's go ahead and do this with mushroom. And there you go. It turned into nether wart. We can do another one. Get ourselves some nether wart. So that's how I wanted to go about achieving that. Now, I don't know if I have everything when it comes to all of the seeds. I think I might have to go back to one of those villages that we visited. But I'm pretty sure I have most of the seeds. I think beetroot is the only thing I don't have. Let's check my seed container, which is all the way up here. I think the only thing I am missing actually is beetroot. But we might be able to make those seeds. So, let's take a look at that magic bean again. We need pumpkin seeds. So can these be made in any particular way? No, we're going to have to farm them or find them in loot chests, which is, you know, pretty easy in itself. I don't think we have any. Let's check. Can I search? No. So melon seeds. Can we get these in any particular way? Doesn't seem like it. No, it does not. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to farm for them, and I don't think they're in here. So let's find out all of the things that we're missing. So we are missing, yeah, beetroot, melon seeds, and pumpkin seeds. So that's what we're going to have to go on a small adventure for. But like I said, once we do this, oh man, life is going to be way easier on us. Ow! This is where a shuriken comes in handy. Look at that. We take that guy out pretty fast. All right. I'm going to go on an adventure. I think I'm going to go off this way this time and see if we can't find a jungle and potentially find ourselves some of those seeds. And I'm sure one of the villages is going to have definitely beetroot in it. And hopefully find ourselves some melons and or pumpkins. So outside, we really need to start and kind of fix our farm. Our farm needs to be changed a little bit, and I think that is mostly going to be our sprinkler location needs to be changed, and our water source location needs to be changed. I want this to service a 9x9 area. To do that, I'm going to need a bucket. Let's go ahead and grab the bucket. I'm going to go ahead and remove that water. I do see... It does seem to be that the worms do die off after a certain period of time. And you do see that the worms are no longer here, even though they were here when we first started this whole crop. So before everything runs out, let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we know we can go 1, 2, 3, 4 in right here and place water, right? That's where I want everything to be. I want to go ahead and remove all of these crops. I'm going to start planting a specific crop. So 1, 2, 3, 4 is going to be where this is going to end. So we can go ahead and stomp that out, that, and that. So we know where our border is going to be. All of this other stuff is probably just going to fade away, and we should be fine. I think, because this is actually, yeah, this is farther than 4 blocks away. All right, so what I want to plant is 2 things. I want to have a portion of this area being magic beans. Can you guys be quiet a bit? Thank you. I'm going to plant a portion of carrots, and that is going to provide the power for our automatic crop harvester. And then inside is going to be our magical beans. And we have to set up a little bit of piping and filtering for that, but it should be pretty simple to get fully up and running. All right, so that piece of dirt that I placed, we can place it here. I think I have this. Yep, I can go ahead and harvest that. And let's go ahead and just plant a seed temporarily right now so I can place down our sprinkler, because this actually makes it grow quite a bit faster. I think I can place the sprinkler down. It lets me. I don't know why it's not letting me. All right, let's bucket this up. I will do this. Sprinkler. Remove that. Then water. There we go. Now it's going to activate. All right, that is going to be needed. And we also need to go ahead and fix the rest of this. Perfect. So this should help. 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks away. I'm going to go ahead and get the, I think around, I'm going to go ahead and set most of the area. Didn't I have dirt that was inside here? I did. Wow. All the problems. Perfect. All right, so I have a couple of things to make. I need to make a culinary generator, right? Culinary generator is what I'm going to use. I'm actually going to feed it with carrots. This is actually going to produce about 28 RF a tick per carrot, which is really nice, and for a set period of time. So in order for that to happen, we need to have carrots be grown so it can harvest, and then we're going to filter those carrots into our culinary gen, which is going to power our harvester. So to make a culinary generator, let's go ahead and take a look at the culinary. So the culinary is going to need a regular generator, which is going to need a chest. I think I have all of that stuff. There we go. Perfect. And then we're going to need like some wheat and looks like some kind of food of any kind. It looks like cooked steak or something like that would probably work. I don't think I have cooked steak, but I could easily get some. So let's go ahead and head back down. I'm going to go ahead and make that culinary generator. And then I'm also going to make the harvester. The harvester is going to be this guy, the one from Cyclic. It's really easy to make, and we should have all the materials to make it. So I'm going to go ahead and get all those things done, and I'll be back. Here we are with our crop setup. So I have all of my machines now. We have our harvester, which is placed the wrong way. So let's go ahead and place it the correct way, like so. And this guy has a couple of settings. I want this set to a 9x9 area. And we can preview that area like so. And then we want this set to either area or single. I'm going to go with single. Single is going to go a little bit easier because if it does area and it harvests all at once and this inventory gets completely filled, we might run into some issues. And it's very possible that that can happen when you start planting these magic beans, as these guys are pretty cool. So they have 8 growth cycles, and you can see they do have a chance of growing all kinds of different things, right? But you do notice that I'm not getting the magical seeds back. So we will have to definitely make more of these. I don't believe, unless you break the main crop, does it give you more seeds? Sometimes it can be configured to give you the seeds or make you pay for those seeds every time. But as you can see, this will inevitably keep this harvested. And you can see it gives you a lot of random stuff. A lot of random stuff. All vanilla items. So really, really worth it. All right. First of all, let's go ahead and get our power hooked up. And then we'll start the process of hooking everything else up. So right down here is going to be where I'm going to pull out my items in this chest. Up here is going to be our generator, our culinary generator. And I'm going to do a few things. So right at the back, we're going to have this set up. So most items are going to go and be channeled through here. So we're going to extract. I'm going to set this to always active. It's going to put items inside here and pull out. And it's going to go into this chest. And that's going to be on the green channel. And it's going to be always active. So let's go ahead and set that to always active and insert on the green channel. Now, I need to extract specific items to go in here. And I want to do that on a separate channel. So we'll set that to a brown channel, always active. And then we'll make sure to insert on a brown channel and remove the extract because we don't need to extract from there. We also need to filter what particular items we are going to be extracting. To do that, I use a basic filter, pretty easy to make this thing. And you need to go in here and you need to specify what you're going to be putting in there. In our case, we're going to be putting carrots because that's what we're going to be powering our machine with, is carrots. So as long as it's in there, if I put carrots in here, they're going to get extracted and they're going to be put into here immediately. But if I put anything else in here, like these items, you'll notice they don't actually get pulled out. That's because we're using a filter and this guy is generating some power and feeding this guy with some power, which should in turn eventually start giving this thing a little bit of power in order to run. It may run a little bit slower, right? I think for right now we might be able to do area. I don't know if area is more expensive to initially run. We'll find out. Area will do all at once. So yeah, area might be a better choice for right now for our current power, simply because each time this process happens, it's going to be farming, right? And then once this is filled up, we will no longer need that anymore. Now, eventually we can put some upgrades in there to give it more power, but for right now, this is going to function pretty simply. And you can see just like that, we have ourselves a culinary generator that is powering our harvester based on the crops that we currently have. And then we have these guys right here, these magical beans that are also growing. And these guys are generating random vanilla items for us that could be really useful. Like, look at all these dyes it's generating and these different flowers it's generating that are all based on vanilla flowers. This can be a very useful crop. This can also pull emeralds as well. So keep that in mind. And making these are not actually that hard, but for right now we have a basic crop set up. Awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and actually just plant some more of these things around. We can also have this harvest rice seeds if we wanted to, since rice seeds are actually fairly useful as well. Pretty much any crop you want to put in here, this thing is going to harvest it. So fairly simple and really nice. So we ended up capturing 2 villagers from our neighboring villages. So I'm going to go ahead and place them here and here in their nice little housings. And this is just going to allow us to gain emeralds pretty easy. This one uses gunpowder. Like, how easy is that? We have tons of gunpowder over here. So we should be able to just trade with this guy to get emeralds easy for gunpowder. And I mean, that's just going to be super simple. Look at that. And so we ended up getting 7 emeralds from that. And this guy is also going to unlock other things. I have a farm for netherwort. I have a farm for bone. Well, I don't have one for raw mutton, but I do have a farm for those. This guy's wanting string. He's a Fletcher. Super simple to get string. We have spiders building up in here, so let's go ahead and take some string to get some emeralds. So we should be able to build up that farm pretty quickly. So look at that. It looks like, you know, we could use more string. So, I mean, we have more, so might as well use it. It's just super simple here. Since we do have spiders in there, we have access to all this. So yeah, this guy is probably going to level up and he's going to unlock. Look at that. We can get flint from him. Nothing else is very useful. I'm mostly in for the emeralds. So say, there we go. We can lock them out. So those trades are going to be locked out, but only for a short period of time. And look at that. We can already trade more emeralds. So in that short period of time, we've already got 19 emeralds. Like, as soon as those effects run off, this guy's ready to go. And I mean, like I said, we have a netherwort farm. Let me kind of talk about that netherwort farm for a second, because it's a little bit different than your normal netherwort farm. Let's go ahead and get rid of this guy. This guy is scary, by the way. He actually jumps in the air and then dive bombs on you. So, in order for you to farm... Ow. In order for you to farm netherrack, or not netherrack, netherwort, you need to have yourself some soul sand that needs to be tilled with a regular hoe. It will not work with the mattock. And then you need lava in order for it to actually be considered fertilized or be considered saturated. And that's it. This guy will actually farm it. So, I mean, look how much stuff we have at this point. Look at all these netherworts. Like, I'm literally about to remove the netherwort. We have so much material that builds up so quickly, and I haven't even been doing it very long. But look at all the flowers. Like, we're getting all the different flowers. We've even gotten lapis from this. So, I'm not joking when I say you get every color of everything that is vanilla. It's no joke. You do get it. And I think those farms are going to be well worth it later on when you need those, you know, obscure items. So, after all is said and done, I think we had a pretty eventful day. We got a large crop set up that is now going to produce all of the dyes for us, and also all of the colored glass panes, which we might try to do something with later on. Who knows? Anyways, guys, I really appreciate it. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Don't forget to click that thumbs up button if you haven't already, and also click that subscribe button and ring that notification bell so you guys can stay notified. So that when I do upload new videos like this, you'll be the first one on the scene. Anyways, I'll see you in the next one. As always, thanks for watching.